How's it, you bass lovers? Today I'm going to be covering a topic that is somewhat a bit confusing for a lot of people. There's a lot of information on it, and I'm going to be talking about setting your gains, and probably we'll be adding some more information that really doesn't get discussed. So right now what I've got here is a 50 Hertz tone playing. Okay, and I know that this deck right here, the volume goes all the way to 40, but it distorts at 35. So obviously I set my gain to 34, the volume 34, and that's where basically I can get the best, the cleanest signal from this setup. It's a 1 volt. So yeah, it's a 1 volt deck. Preferably 2 volt up would be ideal, but for now with this test I'm going to do it with this 1 volt test. The volume is not high, it's actually at now it's at 20, but I want you to see when I crank it up. Okay, like right now you will see on the oscope that it's a 50 Hertz, and then the voltage there is 2.9 volts. Okay, so when I crank it up to where it initially starts to distort, or just before the distortion, which is at volume 34, you can see there that my voltage is at 32.8 volts. Now obviously now you're gonna have to use Ohm's law to calculate the amount of power and that you get out of that. So let me just work it out here. You can get Ohm's law off Google, or you can do what I did, which is I just downloaded the app from Google Play Store. And I'm just unlocking the phone here quickly. So as you can see there's it there. Now I've got it on voltage and I've got it on resistance. Now right here I've got the T-line that I built. Very basic. It was not fancy and in depth, and there's more to a T-line than what we say. I just built it based on rule of thumb. But this is a 2 ohm load. So taking that reading there, which is 32.87. Okay, so I input that. Okay, so see here 32.87, and then at 2 ohms, and I calculate. That gives me 540 watts and a 16 amp draw. So that's what I'm getting with this right now. Okay, so obviously now I'm not gonna really play with the gain setting, but for argument's sake, if you want say for argument's sake you want 1000 watts. Okay, you go to you set up your tone, your test tone, and then you say okay, now I'm gonna have to reset, because now I must do it the other way around. Okay, just wait for this ad. Okay, so now what I do is I want power and I've got my resistance. Okay, so now what I want, let's say I want 300 watts, and then I've got a 2 ohm load. Then I must set my level with the oscope, okay, or a voltmeter, to 24.495 or 24. You can even round it off, and then basically you'll be getting 300 watts. But that only applies when it's like this, with no load whatsoever. As we speak here, this here is 540 watts of power without a load. The minute you put in a load, the minute you apply a speaker or the subwoofer to the amplifier, this will drastically change. Also, what doesn't get covered is, okay, you set your gains, but what also happens is the minute you play a song, right, I will show you now. The minute you play a song, you'll see how that voltage drops heavily. Okay, so that's why, you know, even setting it according to the wattage that you want, but the minute you play a song, that also gets affected before you even put in a load. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it to the next track. Okay, so the next track will then be, okay, this is Destiny's Child, Brown Eyes. Okay, now I want you to have a look at this oscope and look at that voltage. Okay, so what I did, I just went to the next track. See how it fluctuates, but look, it doesn't even get close to that even 30 volts. It doesn't get close to it. Okay, I know Brown Eyes normally starts with the heavy bass from, oh well, majority of the bass comes from I think within 40 seconds. So we'll see now. I'll just play it for like a minute or so, and then we'll just have a look and just see. Then I'll go over to the next song. There I saw a 5 volt. Okay, also another thing which I forgot to mention here, the test tone that I used here on this is set at minus 5 dB. Okay, that will also affect your performance and your clipping as well. So what will happen is the tone's at minus 5 dB, and then like this song here, it's at minus if I'm not mistaken, just below minus 10. So obviously now it's about a quarter or less, I think a fifth of the actual voltage setting. Okay, there's that song now playing. Okay, as you can see. Okay, right, I'm gonna go over to the next song. The next song there would be, okay, Atomic Kitten, Whole Again. Okay, same story. Just look at that voltage. Remember, we set the thing at 32.8 if I'm not mistaken, and it gave us 540 watts. Okay, so right now, I mean, the numbers don't lie. So when you play a song, this is a voltage you're getting before you even put in a speaker or subwoofer. This is what's happening. So this number will even drop even more drastically. Okay, over to the next song. Okay, Post Malone. Now Post Malone, this song here, you can see that voltage is quite high because it's one of those bass boosted songs. Bass booster songs normally play up to close to minus 5. I've seen some going to minus 3 dB. So as you can see, that there is it's considerably up there, and it's loud. I know for a fact that this particular song is loud, very loud. But as you can see, guys, you know, you're not obviously getting what you initially thought you were getting, you know, even though it was set at 540 watts, but you're not getting 540 watts. And like I said, it will drop dramatically with the speaker. And then the last song, this one here, is at minus 4 dB. So you'll see now it will spike. See, I mean 23, 24, 23 volts, Yeah, this is a close to this is about minus 4 dB if I'm not mistaken. Right, so in setting your gains, you must remember all this. There's a lot of stuff in play here, and it would be advisable always set it with O-scope or a voltmeter if possible. If you set it by ear, it's very difficult. You might be lucky if you setting it on a 1 volt deck, but 2 volts and 4 volts, specifically 4 volts, it's very difficult to set it by ear. It's very difficult. I know that from first-hand experience. But you know, guys, just use a O-scope or use a voltmeter. And the problem is now there's so many brands out there. Some of them rate their power and it's not really their power. If you're lucky and you got the budget, if you buy reputable companies like Kicker, DD Design, Orion, you know, I mean, what they say there is what you're gonna get. So you can set your voltmeter according to what they say there, because you are gonna get that. But with other amps, it's a bit difficult. It's a bit tricky. If you go to an installer and he sets it by ear, you have to hope and pray that that guy set it right. You must pray, because it's expensive. It's going to be an expensive fail, because you'll be playing your equipment for a month, 2 months or whatever, and then you start smelling stuff, and you know, and then from there gone is your equipment, and there's no warranty on speakers and subwoofers. So for me, I feel, okay, this is how I feel. I feel if somebody sets it by ear, is no different than a monkey actually setting it by ear. I wonder if that's even possible. I wonder. I wonder why I was thinking of monkeys. That's weird. It's official. I've gone crazy. I think the load shedding has finally gotten to me. Damn, I must be tripping or something. But yeah. Anyway, guys, yeah, that's about it. You know, look, there's a lot of information on setting gains and all that outside there, but I just wanted to point that other point out that doesn't get discussed. You know, when you go to installers, it'll be a miracle for them to even explain that. They'll set stuff, and you know, they'll tell you, no, look, you are getting 1,000 watts, and then when you go bumping in the street, you'll be like, guys, I'm pushing 1,000 watts. Wrong, you're not. If you're playing music, nope, that's not true. As you saw with the numbers tell a story. And last thing, setting the gain with your car off. Okay, you'll be setting it with your battery power at its natural state, just as it is with its charge. Whatever charge the battery is at, that's your gain being set at that. The minute you start the car and you get 13.5, 13.8, normally the cars are averaging 13.8, and 14.4 if you start doing your big 3 upgrade, your big 4, or you know, you're running some serious wires for better amperage draw. You know, that setting that you set, let's say I got 32.8, it might jump a full 10 volts or 5 or 10 volts. So if I set it according to where I think it's gonna clip, just before clip, the minute I start the car, it'll be instant, it'll be clip city. Make no mistake about it. So even that there must be taken in consideration when you're setting your gains. Normally you just set your gains a little bit below, like 20% below your max. I would say it would be a safe zone for that, you know. And then yeah, that's about it, guys. You know, there's so much. I mean, I'm just trying to think now, what else did I forget? But there's so much that that can be said and discussed on this. The rest is up to you. You know, you have to do your own research and just see. But yeah, guys, just open your eyes, use common sense, and then I will see you, on the next video.